And this needs to be said that that's all he is a bolejo. He's nothing more than that. He may claim different things and stuff like that, but nah, he's nothing but a nigga. You know what I mean? A sorry ass nigga at that. You know what I mean? But let's just keep it honest. You know?
Be found professional. When my mom went to visit Garba Nation, she went and landed in Belize. And yet they moved around quite a bit to the point that they ended up in Mexico, which was never her first intention, first of all. So apparently this group moves around a lot. So that's already one scenario that was not in my mom's plan. Number two, when my mother had decided she was going to go and do this, we discussed talking about staying in constant contact with each other and including doing video chatting or Skype communication regularly because she was working on eating more naturally. She was going to come for relaxed hair, and we were going to discuss some different natural hair care because I and my family have been utilizing a formula that I have been working on for years at this point already. So my mom already knew about this and was very happy about that. And I told her that I was going to send something for her, and she was like, yes, we can Skype regularly, we can do.
So this just tells you that her mother was already having the leanings towards these things, This just goes to tell you that she was already leaning towards this. And I guess what happened is her mom saw a group that will give you that smoke screen that they're doing these things, but they're not really doing them. The reality is quite different than what they show, than what they advertise.
A natural hair journey. So this was the intention that my mom had. Contact with the outside world, constant communication, that we were going to talk regularly, and she was going to just be living naturally and maybe learning some different energetic things. Okay. And then the communication definitely stopped, where I was texting her a lot and I wasn't getting any responses back. Eventually, probably after a month and a half or so, I got some kind of communication in her Facebook Messenger, but very minimal, to the point that I wondered if it was even my mother.
It wasn't your mom, sis. If anything, I think by now you'll know that he controls all the social media accounts. He controls everything. Nobody has freedom of, contact with the outside world. He may advertise that, people are free to talk to who they want to talk to, but they're not really free on talking to who they want to talk to. As a matter of fact, permission had to be asked to talk to his own kid because Pisces is a bottom beta male, So he needed to have permission to even talk to his own kid. And so, this is in, I want to say this is a recurring thing, that you have to give up everything when you go over there. That includes your social media account as well. And that includes your communication with your family as well.
And then all of her postings changed on Facebook to being something different, like very much focused on rhetoric and quotations from teachings of Eligio.
And that's all his quote unquote knowledge is just rhetoric. There is not one single solitary thing that man says that can enhance your life. Not a single solitary thing. There's not one thing that he says that can enhance your life that people haven't figured out already before him. And that's just the bottom line.
for his group, which seemed very unnatural for my mother. And anyone that knew my mom and was family members all questioned that. We definitely all did. Another thing I'll say that was planned, like I stated, she took her medication with her for a huge supply. And so she was definitely planning on taking care of her health, even if she was trying out some different eating methods. That was never her intention to just throw everything away and feel like she was at the end of her life, because she wasn't. My mother was only 59 years old. And she was very vibrant, like I stated. In any case, the contact that we had with carbonation was very dangerous. It was very... his interactions with individuals just didn't seem right. And what I noticed is that they tried to have the women look very happy, or the women look like they're doing great. So it kind of makes you feel like maybe this is okay, but the things he says just sounds very idiotic.
They are idiotic. They'll continue to be idiotic. I mean, the fact that he promotes inbreeding, and inbreeding never really took place in Africa, because he claims that it never really took place. I've done research. It was probably only a minority in which it took place in, but it wasn't the order of the day. It wasn't a majority thing that occurred there, So anytime he talks about Africa, it just like boils my blood, because I am an African, and it's like, damn, like this idiot doesn't even know what he's talking about. You know what I mean? Because he doesn't read. That's one thing. I don't even think he knows how to read, to be honest with you. Truthfully speaking, I don't think he knows how to read. But anyhow, yes, the things he says are very idiotic and very much like just stupid. But yet, stupid, dumb Negroes and stupid, dumb female Negroes fall into it.
And very overpowering, to the point that you're aggressive and lording over the individuals that you're around in your group. And we definitely never felt comfortable with my mom going down there for anything like this. So in any case, some of the things we asked Eligio during that live stream, I have like 6 different copies of the type of sentences he said. Of course, the live stream, who knows where it went. And
I'm glad that she documented this, though. This was smart on her part that she documented this. You know what I mean? So she the good news is she had a one-up on this sick motherfucker. You know what I mean? I'm glad she did that. You know what I mean? So that's the good news.
And all the comments disappear after a while, but what you'll see is you've got quite a few people that liked and loved what Nature Boy stated. Eligio Bishop stated that was very cruel and rude.
Yeah, the problem is his supporters are just as sick as him. That's the thing. Like, his supporters are just as bad as him. So what that tells you is that there's many of them in the community. They just haven't revealed themselves yet. But there's many of him in the community, and many people like him in the community. So that just needs to I guess in a way it could be a good thing that this is coming to light, because it weeds out the ones who are like that in your local community that maybe you can deal with. You know what I mean? Because now from their interactions with him how they feel, stuff like that, and you can address it within your own community.
And so a lot of people still support these individuals. And so, we never had a positive reflection or a positive vibration from this group. Always concerned and worried, and very, very sad and heartbroken that my mom is no longer with us. This necklace is actually one of the last things that she gave me before she left. She visited us in 2017, visited lots of family. So we had just very recently seen her, probably like 9 months before she went to carbonation. Some of the things that we didn't know while my mom was there are also disturbing. There are certain things that we found out after my mom passed away. And when they came to light, it made us even more worried and concerned about the circumstances that my mom was living in before she passed, and if she truly had access to the outside world. I'll say this. Number one, upon arriving in Belize, she was supposed to be picked up by someone at the airport, someone from the carbonation melanated group. And instead, she got a phone call and they said she would have to take a cab out to where they were. Now, we discovered this later on from my mom's best friend. As we have been communicating as a family, is healing in a whirlwind about what just happened. And we're all sharing information, our little tidbits as we start talking, because we're all in different parts of the country. And she stated that, right from the jump, something happened that wasn't right. And she was concerned. And then, so my mom arrives there. Now, my mother, who was very sincere in her journey, who already was eating healthy in her own life, was just taking another, step from what she saw. She had a box of her pots mailed to her down to the carbonation area. And when the box of items arrived, because she's like, we're going to cook. They do a cooking show. They're vegan and natural. And so we're going to be using things from the...
Unfortunately, what happened too is the mom probably found out that they weren't vegan or natural. He's been on camera eating like Progresso chicken soup with hot sauce, tortilla chips that are actually... not even tortilla chips, but Doritos. They're not even tortilla chips. They're Doritos that he's been eating. So he unfortunately, the mom probably found that out too, that they weren't even vegan.
In the environment. And I figured having some really good quality cooking pots would be great. And instead, when the box arrived, and when she told them that there was a box coming for her, she was scolded. And those are the words that my mom used, that she was scolded for having something arrive, getting mailed to them, because no one's supposed to know where they're supposed to be. And according to Alicia, it was because that way tons of people don't show up there. And then there'd be too many people that want to come to this awesome place.
Well, probably what it was is that, people probably were like locals or what have you, who knew, like, because word travels quick. So if locals knew someone died over there and stuff like that, they probably would have pulled up and they probably would have dealt with them. So that's why he doesn't want to know, like, that's why he doesn't want his address going out. Like, the reason why he doesn't want his address going out is because he really is scared. And that's the reason why he doesn't want the address going out, is because he's scared. He doesn't want someone to like really pull up and deal with his shit, because if someone pulls up and deals with his shit, he's not going to know what to do. I think it was in Honduras where he was running away from, I believe, some robbers or whatever the case may be. And those robbers, they shook him. And so, he talks that rah-rah shit, but we already know what time it is with that dude, bro. For real. He's not capable of doing shit.
So in any case, some of the things we asked Alicia during that live stream, and she stated that, right from the jump, something happened that wasn't right, and she was concerned. And then, so my mom arrives there. Now, with good quality utensils, be great. And instead, when the box arrived, and when she told them that there was a box coming for her, she was scolded. And those are the words that my mom used, that she was scolded for having something arrive, getting mailed to them, because no one's supposed to know where they're supposed to be. And according to Alicia, it was because that way tons of people don't show up there. And then there'd be too many people that want to come to this awesome place. Who scolds someone who's 59 and just showing up with the sincerity to cook with good quality utensils, and then you're going to scold her? And she sounded worried when she contacted her best friend and said, you know what? I need you to not send those items because I just got scolded for having those things being shipped here. Can you please just cancel it? And her friend tried to make arrangements to get it intercepted, but it was already at a warehouse and already at a distribution center. But I think she was able to intercept it. But that was also a red sign.
Yeah, it would be a red flag that, so in essence, even if a family member wanted to send, say if a family member wanted to send them, some stuff, a family member was like, yo, let me send you some things so you can keep up with yourself, look after yourself. Let me send those things to you. You're on your thing or whatever the case may be, but let me just send some maintenance to you. Then they probably couldn't get that maintenance because of the simple fact that he doesn't allow it.
Sign number 2, my mom did not realize that she would not be able to share the address of where she stayed, which is concerning to know that they actually did that and scolded my mother for wanting to bring pots and pans there. And then, like I stated, the third thing, she planned to do video chatting frequently, and that did not occur. And in fact, we found out that the only time she had a phone conversation was 2 times with someone outside of Carbonation. She was able to make a phone call 2 times, to have an audio phone call in the 3 months that she was there. And also, if she was able to text a message to her friend, our friend here in the United States, my mom's very, very good best friend, when she sent messages to her, my mother asked her, please delete the messages because I don't know if they'll be able to tell that I was talking to you. We're not supposed to be on our phones. We're not supposed to be contacting people. And so I could get in trouble. So when we're done talking, just delete the Facebook messages from your side and I'll delete mine because I don't.
So what he does is probably check the Facebooks and the Instagram direct messages to make sure that they're not talking to people. So what that tells me is that, if he was doing righteous things, there would be no need for him to check people's conversation logs and stuff like that if he was doing right. But we already know he ain't doing right, so that's why he has to constantly check them and what have you.
Know what still shows up. And so my mom's best friend removed those items. She said that she could tell when she talked to my mom because the conversation was different, where they were talking about personal experiences and real actual things that my mom talks about. Whereas the other times when my mom's friend would text a message, the messages that came from my mom's supposed Facebook Messenger was very short and like 2 or 3 words, and I love myself or some kind of sentence like that, which is not how my mom talks.
And that I love myself shit is the most self-absorbed shit that you can ever say in your life. You know, that's the most self-absorbed thing you can say. I'm just letting you know. But the video's over. You know, I hope y'all got something out of this commentary. I hope y'all got something out of this video. It's just my perspective on it. You know, my perspective is harsh. My perspective is, you know, one of sympathy towards, you know, her daughter, because you can tell that even with this video, her daughter, it took a lot for her daughter to just kind of like come out and just talk about these issues and things like that. And so, you know, with that being said, just leave your thoughts, leave your comments. Again, I don't have any sympathy for any of the Carbon Nation members. I don't have sympathy for Velvet, who is continuing writing cock carousels, but you guys are still capping for her. I don't have any sympathy for Nateri, who's doing the same thing, writing cock carousels as well. Yeah, I don't have any sympathy for Honor, who is like talking crazy. I don't have any sympathy for Syrian either. I don't have sympathy for Tron. Yeah, I don't have sympathy for Rambo and Serenity as well, nor Keys and Vibe, because the way I look at it is they're all responsible for this woman's death, because she died on their watch. But anyhow, and that includes, I believe that includes Tori as well. I think she was there at the time. I'm not quite sure if she was or not, but that includes her as well if she was there at the time. But anyhow, man, I'm just going to get off here. But Foolish signing out. Traditional African manhood until I die. Traditional high caliber women until I die, just because the Velvet supporters hate it. Njarama.